Howdy, we are excited to welcome you to the Texas A&M's College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Right now, we're in the Veterinary and Biomedical Education Complex, or what we call the VBEC. Not too long ago, we were in your shoes, trying to choose a veterinary school, and we know it's a big and sometimes difficult decision. So we not only wanted to share a couple of the reasons why we chose A&M and some of our favorite things about being an Aggie veterinary student, but also show you some of the facilities here at Texas A&M.
For me, it starts with the faculty. Texas A&M is known for having a nationally ranked curriculum with some really great professors, which can sometimes make them seem kind of intimidating, especially at first. But we quickly learned how much they really care. This past semester, one of our classmates went through a personal loss, and it was really amazing to see how all of our professors provided support and empathy, and were even willing to pitch in when we were putting together a card and gift basket. That really showed me that they care about us as individuals. You've probably heard that Texas A&M is like a big family, but the CVM-BS family is especially close-knit. And those connections don't end at graduation. The faculty here are really involved in helping us try to land internships and jobs after we graduate, and there's no job network stronger than the Aggie network.
Something that really stands out to me is how much the professors really go above and beyond to help students learn. We use many different kinds of technology in the classroom. So when the COVID-19 pandemic required us to begin taking our classes remotely, our professors were able to quickly adapt and develop creative ways to ensure that we were still getting hands-on experiences from home. Sure, some of us were performing practice surgeries using synthetic models in our living rooms, but the professors were right there with us via Zoom and working unbelievably hard to keep us learning. It's also nice that we have flexible classroom spaces here. Whether you like to sit or stand, many of the classrooms have a lot of options to make all that time we spend in there as comfortable as possible. Because we spend a lot of time learning in groups, the college also has a ton of space to study with our classmates or even by ourselves.
Something that's definitely different here is that your hands-on learning begins right away. We began using ultrasound technologies, learning how to gain IV access, and getting hands-on animal husbandry skills within our first week of vet school here. One of my favorite experiences by far has been getting to learn using my own 2 dogs. Throughout our curriculum, our professors let us bring our small pets to classes that meet in the courtyard, and we learned how to perform skeletal anatomy exams as well as perform ECGs, orthopedic, and those physical exams on them. A lot of schools say that they have an emphasis on hands-on learning, but here we start right away with low-fidelity models like buckets and ping pong balls that allow us to practice techniques such as suturing as well as ophthalmic exams, before moving on to a more high-fidelity model, like silicone molds to practice more advanced procedures like pericardiocenteses and tracheostomy placements. In our 3rd year, we begin using syndavers, which are extremely realistic synthetic animal models to practice more complicated procedures like a gastrotomy or resection and anastomosis, before moving into our junior surgery, where we perform spays and neuters under the direct supervision of our professors for the local animal shelter, which allows us to give back to the community and increase those pets' chances of being adopted. Before you know it, it's your 4th year and you're performing surgeries on real patients. And by the time you graduate, you're prepared to meet your first surgical patient in the real world.
A big emphasis at Texas A&M is on being day one ready when you graduate. That definitely includes a lot of hands-on learning. One of my favorite labs was physiology, in which we worked in groups to draw blood and place catheters on real animals during our first semester. We also have our own teaching herds right behind the building, and we work with those animals under the supervision of our professors. For veterinary students who don't have a lot of experience working with horses, cattle, or other food animals, The college's teaching herds allow us to get that experience before our fourth-year clinical rotations in the small and large animal hospitals located right next door. And it goes beyond just the medical training. We also have an in-depth communications program through which we can practice skills like introducing ourselves to a client and how to ask open-ended questions to allow a client more room to explain their pet's specific situation. We also learn how to broach financial discussions and help owners make difficult emotional decisions in actor-based simulations. Those are the kinds of difficult things that you don't really think about when you're first starting out in vet school.
Something that really stuck with me on my first visit to CVMBS was simply the feel and culture. Texas A&M may be one of the largest universities in the country, but the VBEC is kind of a campus within a campus. We have our own wellness center where we can get a quick workout in between classes or during our breaks, our own study spaces, and even our own cafe and dining spaces. It's also great that Texas A&M has a strong commitment to overall student wellness. Our college is one of the only colleges at Texas A&M with a dedicated on-site counseling service for veterinarian students, and we have a relaxation room with a massage chair to help de-stress during those hard weeks. We can also relax in the courtyard or bring out the wellness cart with games and activities we can play during our breaks. The CVMBS also has a strong commitment to diversity and inclusion. Our college has won 4 consecutive national awards for our diversity and inclusion efforts, and as you walk through the faculty and staff office areas, you will see their dedication proudly displayed on their office windows, creating a welcoming environment for all.
Yes, vet school is hard, there's no denying that, but your CVMBS family will be here to support you the entire way through. Those are just some of the many reasons we love Texas A&M, but we know you probably have a ton of questions. So be watching your email for information on upcoming Zoom panel discussions with current DVM students to answer any questions you might have. Thanks, and gig 'em.